Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video I'm going to be going over some of the best replays that I had last season that I never shared on the channel. So make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy the video. Alright, hopping in the first match, we're going to be up against this guy. So we do have Fire Spirit in our cycle, and I'm pretty sure this guy is running Giant Double Prince, so Fire Spirit first play is probably going to force out, I was going to say quite a bit of Elixir, and he's going to go with the Dark Prince here, so just going to counter it pretty easily with the Queen plus Skeletons and get a pretty good counter push. And this matchup could be interesting because in this variation of the deck I don't actually have Valkyrie, and could make it a little bit more difficult maybe, but at the same time delivery is also really good against the princes, so I'm going to have to see how delivery does in this matchup. Yeah, should be able to counter the prince pretty fine. I think his miner will get quite a bit of chip damage, probably more damage than our hog is going to get, but looking pretty good right here. Kind of in a matchup like this, you kind of just want to be not too aggressive with your hog riders. Like, you don't want to be cycling them like crazy, but you just want to go with hog riders here and there, getting like a hit at least. And especially when they like waste their good counters, like if they have prince out of cycle, you should always go with a hog rider, or pretty much always. And just gonna go with the hog right here. And yeah, it looks like he didn't have Prince in cycle there. He had to go with Dark Prince plus Mega Mean, so he had to spend quite a bit of Elixir there, and we should be able to defend it pretty easy with the Royal Delivery. And yeah, and by the way, the main reason I'm running Royal Delivery in this deck is just so that it like does a lot better against like Sparky decks and air decks like Lava Hound and various things like that. Maybe like some beatdown decks like Golem as well. So that's really my reasoning there. But honestly, you guys could probably run this deck just fine with Valkyrie still. It's just that in this meta, I feel like delivery kind of keeps you a little bit more safe against some hard matchups, so I kind of prefer it. And yeah, I have to be a bit careful with the skeletons here. Like at the top of ladder, like the Giant Double Prince pairs will always be trying to predict your skeletons with like a zap, so you always have to kind of be as unpredictable as possible. I'm just going to cycle a Fire Spirit in the opposite lane. Like if he doesn't respond to it, it will get quite a bit of damage, and if we cycle a few Fire Spirits, it should kind of even out the damage. And yeah, so the reason I did that was just that we can kind of go with hogs in the right lane a little bit better, because I wouldn't have wanted to go with the hog in the right lane otherwise if we hadn't got any damage there. But we really should be kind of going opposite lane, because if you go same lane as Giant Double Prince, you can't really ever make two good pushes, because they'll kind of just be like stacking the lane with princes. So it's always good to kind of have the option to go in either lane, just for the I don't know, just kind of for your own good. Like if you don't have good offense, then you're not really going to have the best defense. Like you need to put some pressure on them at least, just so that they can't build up like crazy big pushes and all of that. And I'm going to go with the Hog Rider here. He's going to Prince, but just going to log it back, and this could actually be game here. I think we just need like 2 Earthquakes, and with the Queen on the field, we should be able to have like a really fast cycle. So yeah, already back to the Earthquake now, and yeah, so just gonna delivery right here just to be safe. And I'm pretty sure that is Earthquake range, but I'm not 100% sure. I think we might need a log still. Yeah, I kind of forgot the new Earthquake damage, but that should be a good game here. Very close game, but nice win. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're gonna be up against this guy. I'm pretty sure he plays Sparky, and he's just going to give us the laughs right away. I actually did face him earlier and kind of destroyed him, because we do have delivery in this deck, and I feel like against Sparky, that's like one of the easiest matchups when you have delivery. Like I feel like that's one of the matchups that improves the most. Like it goes from like a somewhat tricky matchup to like a pretty easy matchup. Well, I mean, Sparky isn't too hard to beat, but sometimes they can kind of get lucky pushes on you and then just like instantly win. So yeah, I feel like delivery really helps with that. Like delivery will just do like a ton of damage to the Sparky, then also soak up 2 shots at least. So I feel like it does a really good job. And excuse me for the BM in this game. I am gonna BM him quite a bit probably, just because he is a filthy Sparky user. And yeah, Queen is gonna hit that barrel. We do have to be a bit careful though. It's not like maybe not quite as good of a matchup as it looks, because he does have lightning, so he can kind of easily like destroy our queens when we use it on defense. We do have to be a little bit cautious still, just because of that. And yeah, honestly, it's quite nice that he has Hunter in this deck. Like even though Hunter counters Hog Rider pretty well. It's like so easy to counter on the offensive end, so when his hunter crosses the bridge we can easily just like stop it with 1 elixir. So I'm always fine going with hogs when he goes with like a Sparky or something like that. And honestly, like even when he doesn't go with the Sparky in the back, like normally they'll kind of like save their Sparky to use on your Hog Riders and just build up a big push from there. But I'm not even worried about that in this matchup just because we have delivery. Like I feel like we should be really safe on defense. And yeah, so honestly a pretty good start here. We have a bit of damage on both of his towers, so we can go opposite lane to where he's going pretty easily and not really have to worry too much. And I'm just going to go with the Hog Rider right here. I think he does have like, yeah, so he does have Snowball in the deck, which is going to make it a little bit tricky, because Snowball is super good at countering the Hog Rider. Like, pretty much anything plus Snowball fully counters Hog Rider, so it's not going to be too easy here, but just going to apply a bit of pressure with the Queen. And you guys saw that, like, if they don't play... If you know they don't have enough elixir for like a giant or a goblin giant in front of their Sparky right away, you can just like Queen at the river and just like take it out super easily. But I knew that he'd have enough elixir this time, so that's why I just went with the Queen in the opposite lane. But yeah, I think we should be fine right here. He might lightning, I'm not really sure, but looks like he doesn't lightning, and Queen will defend everything super nicely. I'm just gonna go with the Hog Rider right here. It looks like he will Sparky, but it will still always get 1 shot even if it takes the full Sparky hit, so not too worried. And unfortunately the Dark Prince does kill the Queen before we could get its ability off, but I don't think we should be in too much trouble here on defense. We can kind of just like rely on the delivery, and all of our little units are kind of getting chip damage on his Sparky, making it like pretty vulnerable to just pretty much getting finished off to the deliveries. So he might Snowball here. Yeah, looks like he will Snowball, but he still has to spend that Hunter, and I'm not even sure if that'll be enough right here. Maybe Queen could get 1 hit on his tower. Okay, looks like no, but yeah, he probably Sparkied like right when he was at 6 elixir, so I don't think he actually has too much. And honestly, that was a really satisfying Fire Spirit. Managed to somehow hit the Sparky as well. So yeah, just from like a few of our cheap cards, we pretty much DPS down the Sparky, and he's still gonna go for a Goblin Giant in front of it, but I don't really think it's gonna do anything. And yeah, he also went with the Mega Minion, but kind of just getting wrecked to all of our units, and we already have another delivery just because like the Queen enables the 3-card cycle. And I saw some of you guys in the comments asking what the 3-card cycle is, and basically when you have a champion on the field, your cycle becomes 3 cards instead of 4 cards. So if you play a Hog Rider and you have a champion on the field, then you can cycle back to another one using only 3 other cards instead of 4 like normal. And basically how it works is like a champion can only be played on the field, or like only 1 champion can be played on the field at a time. So that's basically why that has to happen, and it can work really well in your benefit sometimes, especially when you want to like cycle Earthquakes or cycle Hogs really fast, or really cycle anything really fast. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say 3-card cycle. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go with a Queen right here in the opposite lane. It's actually gonna enable the 3-card cycle for our delivery right here, so we should be able to get back to, yeah, already another delivery just so fast. I don't even know how we cycle them that quickly. And I did kind of miss the Sparky there, but honestly I don't really think it matters at all. Already gonna be back to another delivery, like 3 deliveries down on that single Sparky push right there. And gonna give him a little bit of BM here. I think he BM'd me before, so why not give him a little bit of BM, and that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be up against this guy, and we have faced this guy quite a few times on the channel so far, so I think maybe some of you guys probably know what he's playing. He's going to be probably playing Lava Hound, so should be an interesting matchup. He did actually go with like a really quick Inferno Dragon, so the Hog only got 1 shot instead of the normal 2. Pretty well played by him, and I'm not really too sure how to feel about this matchup. I know it's probably going to be a little bit better with delivery. Like the delivery will be super nice to like kill minions and kill lava pups and all of that, but at the same time we don't have like the Valkyrie for offense. Like normally you can go with like an aggressive Valkyrie when he goes with the Hound in the back and get quite a bit of damage with that, or just like apply quite a bit of pressure, but we don't really have that in this deck. So even though you do have better defense with the delivery, sometimes you don't have like quite as much offensive pressure, which can be a little bit bad sometimes, but I think we're going to be fine right here. Queen ability is just going to kind of shred the Lava Hound here, and he's going to go for the Fireball, but I think Fire Spirit should be able to clean up most of the Lava Pups, and Queen is going to survive with just a sliver of HP, so could potentially get its ability off for the second time. And yeah, just gonna go for it here. Looks like it will get the ability off in time. He's gonna minions, but honestly quite bad minions. And I kind of messed up that Hog Rider there. I meant to go with the Royal Delivery, so that's pretty bad for us. But you know, honestly not the end of the world, but it could be a little bit difficult now for the next lava push because we can't really pressure him at all. So he's going to kind of have full control right now. So this could be pretty bad here, but we do have delivery, so I know our defenses should be a little bit easier, hopefully. And just going to cycle a cannon first here. Maybe we can cycle to like 2 cannons or something and potentially like kind of kite his balloon around the arena and still manage to defend, hopefully. But yeah, just going to go with the queen right here. He's going to fireball the cannon, but now he doesn't really have any elixir to support the Lava Hound. He does actually miss the zap right there. I guess he was trying to like reset our queen onto his Lava Hound instead of his balloon, but I'm not really sure if it would have connected even if he did hit it. But our Hog is going to get quite a bit of damage right there as well, so in a really good spot at this point. We kind of just need to defend, but that is easier said than done because we don't really have like too much defense. Like we do have decent defense, but you can always like fireball our cannons if we try to like cycle multiple, and we can only have 1 queen on the field at a time, so definitely not over yet, but in a pretty good spot regardless. And just gonna go with another Hog Rider here. Can also prediction log in case he goes with like a tombstone, but looks like he's just gonna go all in right here. And unfortunately the minion actually did go towards the cannon, so it is gonna make the balloon deal with it in one shot, and that balloon might take our tower. Honestly not too sure how much death damage does. Okay, wow, we just barely survived. Really nice game. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy. So I'm pretty sure this guy pretty much always plays Golem. He's a really good Japanese Golem player, so should be an interesting matchup here. We do have delivery instead of Valkyrie, as I was saying, so I think delivery is a little bit better against matchups like Golem, but I'm pretty sure he is running the Golden Knight version, so I'm not really sure how much value delivery will actually get here. I feel like delivery is like a lot better against like those weird Night Witch Golem decks as opposed to like these ones with not really as much value for our delivery, I feel like. But I'm just gonna go with a Hog in the back here, like force him to go with like a NATO as late as possible, so like hopefully leaks a couple elixir or something. He's just gonna go with the bar barrel here, but it's pretty much a wasted bar barrel, so we kind of got something good out of that weird Hog in the back. Yeah, so I know some of you guys kind of ask me why I do those random hogs in the back, but that's kind of why. Like sometimes if they have like tornado or something, they're forced to leak a couple of elixir just because they don't really have any other card to play except their tornado, so it can be useful sometimes and kind of can throw the opponents off as well. But yeah, we can't really go too aggressive with our Hog Riders right here. We don't have like the login cycle, so if you went with a Goblin Cage on our Hog Rider, we couldn't like push it off and still get a Hog hit. We just give him a free Goblin Brawler. So I'm not really too sure how we're gonna win this. Hopefully we can just like keep the pressure up and not really allow him to build up a huge push, but that Fire Spirit is actually gonna be quite good for us right there. It does get like the land on the tower, and we kind of have to make sure we're getting damage in both lanes because he's gonna probably set up with some golems pretty soon here, so we have to make sure we can pressure him in the opposite lane when he does that. Alright, so he's gonna go with another Goblin Cage. I'm just gonna go with the Earthquake on it because we can easily just counter it, or counter the actual Goblin Brawler with just some skeletons. And I'm gonna go with the Hog Rider right here, kind of pulling back the Goblin Brawler, and I'm gonna go with the Queen as well right here just to apply more pressure. And yeah, it looks like he's going to only defend with a bar barrel, so I think this Queen should get a ton of damage on his tower. And yeah, that worked out super well for us actually. The Queen got like quite a bit of damage because he went with like a pretty late Golden Knight right there. But yeah, he didn't really play it right away, so he worked out pretty well for us, and he couldn't really build up like too good of a Golem push just because of that. And he defended pretty much perfectly, so couldn't really ask for a better single elixir to this game and like early double elixir. And I think those skeletons should distract the Goblin Cage Brawler a little bit, so Hog does end up getting one shot right there. So honestly, everything's just going perfect for us. I was calling the early good games because I thought this is a pretty bad matchup, but I guess delivery really is kind of helping here. It is only like a little bit worse against the Golden Knights, but besides that, it pretty much wrecks him. And the Golden Knight actually like pushed the Golem out of the cannon range, but luckily we got a second cannon just because of how quick this deck cycle is. And he's already going to set up another Golem, so he's definitely up quite a lot of elixir, but not really like super worried about defense. Like even if he stacks up like a huge push, we should just be able to like clean it up with like deliveries and like cycling cannons and stuff like that. So not really too worried here, but could be a little bit sketchy. So just gonna go with the queen ability early. Don't really want to give him lightning value yet with the cannon. Just want to see if he's gonna use his lightning on our queen, but looks like he won't. And the golem is pretty much dead at this point. So he's just gonna set up with another golem here. And luckily the tower did target the baby dragon. So yeah, I mean, things are going okay. We can't really like push too much into his golem right now, and we're kind of stuck to go in the left lane at this point. So now we just have to focus more on defense and yeah. So honestly, you guys have to be really careful when you're playing against Golden Knight golem decks, because a lot of the time they're gonna try to like push the golem out of the cannon range or like out of your building range whenever they can, using like the ability especially, or even without it. The Golden Knight's kind of a bit of a big boy, so you know, it'd be like that. But alright, yeah, he's gonna keep like spending those tornadoes on the Hog Riders. It's always like a -1 trade for us, but it's still like forcing his pushes to be just a little bit smaller and just a little bit easier for us to defend. So I'm pretty happy with this, and he's gonna, yeah, okay, I was just about to say I'm pretty happy with how our defense is going, and then he just played that second golem at the river, so actually not too happy right now. But yeah, alright. Okay, that was actually like a really clean defense right then. We already have like a triple cannon, so cycle through cannons. I don't know why I find this so funny, but kind of crazy how we're defending this. And oh no, that barb better not take our tower. Stop it, barb. Oh no. Okay, cannon is kind of cleaning up the Golden Knight, so I think that should be a good game here. We have to spend the NATO, so didn't have enough time for the lightning, and that will be a pretty nice win here. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be up against this guy, so I pretty much know what almost all of my opponents are playing just because I've played them, or played against them so many times at the top of ladder. So I'm pretty sure this guy's running Splash Yard, and no other deck really runs Ice Wizard except sometimes Ice Bow, so I'm pretty sure that he is going to be using the Splash Yard deck here. And honestly, I don't really show matches against Splash Yard too often. I feel like it's kind of a boring matchup, so I usually tend to cut it out of the videos, but I kind of have I have one question for you guys. Like, would you prefer to see matches against decks that like are like entertaining matchups against certain decks, or would you rather see more informative matchups like this one that are like pretty difficult, but if you play well, you can win using like certain tricks? Like that's what I'm kind of on the fence about. I kind of tried to like mix in both of them, tried to like give informative matchups but also entertaining matchups at the same time, because I know a lot of you guys might say informative matchups, but at the same time on YouTube, people won't really watch you if the videos aren't entertaining. So you have to make sure that you do include some pretty entertaining matches. Yeah, looks like Queen will get one shot right there. He does kind of waste the barber on absolutely nothing. He was a bit delayed there on it, and honestly, the thing that kind of carries this matchup is just the Fire Spirit. Like, he always has to spend like 3 elixir on it, and sometimes he gets away with the bar barrel on it, but oftentimes he doesn't even have it in cycle. So yeah, you can really get a lot of value out of your Fire Spirit and kind of force them to make negative elixir trades quite often. And I'm just going to go with an Earthquake here on his Tombstone. He is going to he kind of probably expected it right there, so he went with the Knight, and he did fully defend, unfortunately for us, but not looking too bad here. Just gonna go with the High Queen. It's gonna kind of force him to probably spend some awkward cards. Yeah, he's gonna go with the Poison here, but I think the Queen should still survive with like 1 HP, so I'm still gonna use its ability because it will still get damage if he doesn't play something. He will go with the Barbell right here, but we already have a pretty solid lead here. And honestly, this was a pretty good matchup like before the Earthquake nerf, but I think after the Earthquake nerf, it isn't actually very good anymore. Kind of like the Queen and Fire Spirit do carry in this matchup, so especially the Queen kind of makes it more winnable than it used to be, like with Firecracker. I feel like it was really difficult. Yeah, I think I will make a video on Hog EQ with Firecracker pretty soon if you guys would like, just to kind of show you guys like what the state of the deck is ever since like some of the balance changes. And I'm pretty sure new balance changes will drop in the next season, so looking forward to that, or maybe even like at the end. Maybe even like before the next season end, they might drop. So yeah, looking forward to it, and looking hopefully pretty good for my deck. Like the nerfs that I'm expecting should hopefully kind of help this deck out. I'm not really too sure what's going to be nerfed, but I feel like maybe Golden Knight will be nerfed especially, which I kind of really do find quite annoying these days. Like ever since they buffed it back, it feels like it has such a long dash range, and I feel like it would be more healthy at like a 5.5 tile dash range instead of 6, because they keep on like switching between 5 and 6, and it feels like it's too strong at 6 but way too weak at 5. So I feel like the dash range does kind of make or break the Golden Knight, but I'd kind of just like to have it in between just to see where it goes. And yeah, so we already took his tower like pretty much at 2000 HP right here, and our tower is still pretty much fully healthy. So you can see like we're really manipulating him kind of, like we're kind of just like ruining his psych. We keep on making him cycle the wrong cards, so he's always like forced to spend awkward cards against like our Archer Queens and our Fire Spirits and all of that stuff. And Cannon is honestly pretty good on defense against these graveyards. Even though they did nerf the cannon hit speed like a while ago, it is still pretty effective at taking out these swarmy units still. So I feel like Cannon should do pretty good here. If you can like block the bridge with, okay, he just missed that tornado. You know, it is the end of the season. People are pretty nervous, so I guess that's why. But yeah, if you can kind of like block the bridge with something, you can pretty easily defend the graveyards with cannons. So it's gonna do pretty good here. I'm just gonna go with the queen kind of more on the inside this time, just to make sure he can't tornado it away, because if he had hit that tornado before, it might have allowed him to build up like a pretty good push there in the lane. It kind of would have been pretty bad for us, I think. But at this point, we kind of just have to make sure we don't die. We can pretty easily just like Earthquake his graveyards. And yeah, and by the way, we are using Valkyrie in this match instead of Delivery. You can kind of use whichever one you prefer. I just preferred Delivery before, but I'm kind of just trying out Valkyrie as well, seeing what works best. And this will be a good game right here. Just need to defend for another second. And yeah, that will be a pretty nice win here. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be up against Mohammed Light, so definitely the best player in the game right now. So no matter what deck he's playing, he's probably going to put up a pretty good fight here, so should be interesting. So he's going to use a Ghost right off the bat. He does have Mighty Miner as well, so not really too sure what this deck could be, to be honest. It could be like Royal Giant or something. I did see some Royal Giant Mighty Miner decks going around, and yeah, it could be like some weird spam deck. Looks like he does actually have Goblin Drill, so wasn't really expecting that, but kind of makes sense, I guess. Yeah, pretty much all the champions are quite broken right now. Even Mighty Miner's quite solid, so yeah, I feel like it's worth it for you guys to invest in it if you would like, if you're a fan of the card. And yeah, that Earthquake did force him to use the extra bandit there. I'm just gonna go with high skeletons, just in case he went with like a snowball or something towards our tower, trying to predict skeletons. Not really too sure what his final cards are, but just want to be a little bit safe, because I know he's a very good player, so he could easily try to predict us, and that would be bad. So yeah, just gonna see what his final cards. I'm just gonna go with a cannon right here, and the reason I went with it so low like that is just in case he has like a magic archer in his deck, he won't actually be able to snipe the cannon with the magic archer when it's placed in that position. And the ghost got kind of offset by the hog, but it will still go for the cannon. He does have cannon cart in his deck, but it wasn't really enough to stop the Hog Rider, and it still got so much damage on his tower, so looking pretty good here. But honestly, Mighty Miner does have so much HP, so I am a little bit worried about it. I'm just going to kind of kite it back, but we do miss. I'm just going to go with the prediction cannon here. I was really expecting him to go with that ability right there, and it is going to defend pretty well, but that might still get quite a bit of damage on our tower. Wow, I can't believe that got that much damage, even past the cannon. But honestly, you guys have to be really careful about Mighty Miner. Like, it has so much health. Like, it's so deceptive. Like, you kind of would think it has like a similar amount of HP to like a Valkyrie, so sometimes you let it go and it has like barely any HP, but it actually will still get so much damage even at 1 HP, so you have to be really careful when you're defending Mighty Miners. And looks like he does actually have Magic Archer after all, so yeah, that was good of me to go with like the lower cannon earlier. And he does actually log the queen in the opposite lane, but he is forced to use a drill on defense, so always love to see that. Yeah, probably just going to delivery right here. It does kind of feel a little bit more awkward playing this matchup without like a Valkyrie in the deck, but as you can see, like, if you play your cards perfectly, you can still defend pretty well. Nothing really to worry about here. Just going to queen in the back to mirror his cannon cart, make sure that he can't really build up any type of push. And he's going to go with the Mighty Miner here, but honestly delivery should be even better here than a Valkyrie would, just because like the Valkyrie would kind of get shredded by the Mighty Miner if we were to go for it. So I'm kind of happy actually with the delivery in this matchup, and I'm going to kind of lure this stuff towards the middle. The Bandit is getting a little bit too close to our stuff. Hog is going to come down just in time, but yeah, this is interesting. Delivery is perfectly predicted right there on his Goblin Drill, and I think his Ghost might get a couple splash hits right here. Okay, the Delivery Recruit walked up just enough to where the Ghost actually didn't get any splash on our tower, so really good right there for us. But he's going to get a bit of Magic Archer chip, but we are still in a little bit of a lead right here. So always looking good when you're in the lead, even if you know they can get some damage from some of their pushes. We're still looking pretty good. It's always good to be in the lead, because in triple elixir you can cycle so many earthquakes at once, or like in a really short time. So yeah, looking pretty good right here. His magic archers are a little bit annoying, but it's probably just going to walk into a delivery of ours. Going to give us pretty good delivery value here on the Ghost plus magic archer. So yeah, looking really good right here. His Ghost is going to always take 3 shots to kill our delivery recruit, so it's never really going to break through very well. And honestly, we really just have to watch out for his Bandit. That's pretty much the only kind of concerning thing. But yeah, and also his Mighty Miner. But he kind of messed up that log there on his Goblin Drill, but honestly still looking pretty good right here. Ken is going to come down a second late, so the Goblin Drill is still going to push it a little bit back, but I think he's like in EQ plus log range at this point, and he's just going to give up. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!